Getting a little cold outside? Are you sick? Is that cute boy you like sick? Then let's make soup. Then let's make soup. Then let's make soup. Let's go with the soup everybody likes. Potato soup! I said potato soup.
The only thing easy or cheap about Cara is her cooking. Only thing easy or cheap about Cara is her cooking.
What you need. I grouped the ingredients by need today. Things you definitely need. Potatoes, just maybe. Onions and garlic. Now the thing is, potatoes are a pretty bland flavor, so let's make sure it's not bland so we actually enjoy the soup. Also, we need heavy whipping cream. Optional ingredients include cheddar, sour cream, and bacon. And to really make this soup rock, we need some flour and some butter. Half a cup and half a cup. Let's get the water boiling. Next part, of course, is to peel your potato. Now, I don't have a potato peeler because mine was crappy and it broke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the slicer part of a cheese grater. As you can see, it works pretty well. So I'm going to get all these peeled. So you probably only want about 4 medium-sized potatoes. Compensate if you have small ones for 2 or a large one for half a potato. Every potato you're done peeling, put it in a strainer because we're going to have to rinse them off. There's my last potato sliced up. All these skins, we don't need them, so either give them to someone's turtle or their rabbit or find something to do with them because this is a lot of food. You don't want to waste it. Before we rinse off our potatoes, we are going to cut them all up into bite-sized pieces. Now, do whatever bite-size means to you. For some of you, that can mean this size here. For some of you, that can mean this size here. For some of you, that can mean this size here. It just depends on you. But remember, the smaller the chunks, the quicker it cooks. Alrighty, my potatoes are all chopped up. I'm gonna get them into my strainer and I'm gonna go rinse these off. Alright, next thing we need to do is take these potatoes and put them straight into our pot of boiling water. Give it a stir. The next thing we need to chop up is our onions. Tip for cutting up onions. Take lemon, take your cutting board, and rub it in. Get a good amount on there. It's okay if you get lemon on the board, it's fine. Take your knife, take the lemon, cut the lemon and squeeze the juice onto the knife as you cut it. Just make sure it's all up in there. Then when cutting your onion, cut into slices, but do not completely cut them all the way off. As you can see, my slices stay on my onion. Keep your fingers curled so if the knife slips, it slips right past them. When the onion's sliced like that, squeeze the lemon, flip it over and squeeze the lemon right in there. Okay? Now your onion will not hurt your eyes. Alrighty, once your onions are sliced like how I showed you, slice them again so we have chopped onions. As you can see, I've cut up my onions, put them into my pot. Give this a good stir as well. Lastly, I'm going to get a couple good sized cloves of garlic because you guys by now should know that I love garlic. Now, if you're not a garlic fiend like me, I'd say you probably want to use about 3 cloves per batch. Now me, I'm going to use 6. You guys remember how I showed you how to peel garlic, right? Cut off these tips. Now remember, what we do once we cut the tip off, place our knife on top, get the palm of our hand right here, and smash it. Boom. Skin be off. Now you have a couple choices here once your garlic's peeled. You can either A, throw them in as is, but if you do, they're gonna look like a piece of potato. If you don't mind biting into big garlic chunks, that's cool. B, you can mince them up and make them look all nice, or you can be like me and just give them a good rough chop, because I don't mind biting into chunks of garlic. See, this is a good enough chop for me. So I'm going to put half these garlic chunks into my pot. Now for your pot, what you want to do is take a fork, find a potato. If you can't get the potato out of the pot without scooping it, your potatoes are soft enough. Turn it down to a medium. Take 16 ounces or 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and put it right into the soup. This is going to thicken up really nicely. Once you do that, give it a good stir. In a separate pan on medium-low heat, take half a cup or a stick of butter and get it melting. Since I'm making 2 batches, it's going to be a whole cup of butter. Don't forget to stir. Alright, so that butter is melting. Let's work on some optional parts. I know this is going to be the favorite part of the soup for most of you, bacon. This is a full pound of bacon right here. I suggest half a pound per batch. I want mine to be just bite-sized strips. Fits in with the potato really well. You can go ahead and put your soup on a medium or medium-low since it's pretty much done. As you can see, our butter is nearly melted. Go ahead and break that up so it melts just a little bit more. You will probably need half a cup. I'm going to use a full cup of flour. Just kind of get that in there. Start whisking it in. Do not stop whisking. We do not want lumps. And if you do it a little at a time like this, it's a lot easier to keep it from getting lumpy. What we're making here is called a roux. What the roux is going to do is make a thickener for our soup. Because I don't know about you guys, but I like my soup really thick. See how thick that is? That's going to make our soup super creamy and super good texture-wise. You're going to take half that roux and just add it right in. Stir it up. Turn down your soup a little bit more. Probably want it closer to low at this point. And if you can't tell, this soup just got really thick. As you can see, our soup is pretty much done. Check out just how thick it is. That is good. And it tastes awesome, even without our optional flavors. Keep it on a low heat now. Your soup's done. You don't need any more time with it. Now I'm going to use that same pan I had earlier, and I'm going to cook all my bacon. Now you cook your bacon as crispy or as chewy as you'd like it to be. I like mine a little bit more on the chewy side. While your bacon is cooking, because obviously it's just started, I'm going to grate some cheese. Got my cheese, use the grater I was using to cut my potatoes, and just grate some cheese up. My bacon's on the chewy side, which actually is the way I like it. If you want it crispier, let it cook longer, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this bacon right into the soup. I might turn the soup back up a little just to let the bacon heat it through a little bit more and let the flavor release into the soup. That, my friends, is masterpiece soup. Now with the cheese, you have a few choices. You can either take your soup when it's done and garnish it with cheese on top, or you could be like me and just take about a cup of cheese and throw it right in. Normally I wouldn't recommend this, but since we put that roux in there, it keeps all the cheese from sinking to the bottom and burning at the bottom of the pan. It's done. So I'm going to go ahead, take a good ladle full of soup. Barely wants to come out the ladle, it's so thick. That's what she said. Turn down back to low or off. Take a good amount of sour cream right on top. The way you can think about this soup is if you put it in a baked potato, you can put it in this soup.
Easy or cheap about Cara is her cooking.